It used to be that the difference between more expensive gimbals and more affordable gimbals was the performance, so you paid more for gimbals that gave you more stable footage. But over the past couple of years, gimbals have gotten better and better, and the biggest difference between gimbals now is mainly their feature set. So DJI has this automatic folding and locking system, and Zhiyun has like a sling design, and they have some gimbals with color touchscreens and follow focus systems. And some gimbals now are even including tracking features that like track the subject with the gimbal. But all these things make gimbals more expensive and don't actually make your footage any smoother. So Zhiyun has just released a gimbal which effectively strips out all of those extra features and just gives you a high performance gimbal at the lowest possible price. And because of this, I think the Cinepeer Weebill 3E represents the best value gimbal on the market. And I think for most people, this is the perfect first gimbal. I'll put some links in the description down below to the best price I could find on the Weebill 3E gimbal, as well as all the audio and video equipment used to produce this video. I've also been given a substantial discount code for viewers of the video, and I will put those details as well. In full disclosure, this video is sponsored by Zhiyun. I've used their products for years, but this is the first sponsored video I've ever done for them. So in this video, I'm going to give you some hard numbers on how the gimbal compares to some competitors, including price, weight capacity, features. I'm also going to give you a number of examples of how the gimbal performs in real world situations, so you can make up your own mind the value the gimbal represents. I'm also going to point out the feature advantages the other gimbals have over the Cinepeer Weebill 3E, so you can decide if those features are critical to you. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is price, and I'm not going to quote raw numbers because right now, because of the tariffs coming into the US on Chinese goods, these numbers are changing all the time. But in theory, all the gimbals should change in about a similar amount. Looking at the DJI Ronin RS4, and if we consider that the most expensive gimbal, and we call that a 100% price, the highest price that you might pay for a gimbal in this category, and then we compare that to the Weebill 3E, you're going to get about a 55% discount off the price of the RS4. So you're paying about 45% of the price, or less than half, for the Weebill 3E. And then when we look at Zhiyun's own Weebill 3S, that is the Zhiyun branded Weebill, that is going to be around 20% off when we compare the standard Weebill 3E to the Weebill 3S, and 45% off the gimbal that I've got here compared to the combo Weebill 3S. Now, importantly, when we actually look at specifications and weight carrying capacity, they all have the same weight carrying or load capacity, which is 6.6 pounds. Now, because of the designs of the gimbal, they might not always support the same thing or the same camera lens combination, but they are going to be very, very similar. And when we look at the feature set they have as far as the core gimbal functions, we have a number of different modes, and although DJI calls their modes different names than Zhiyun does, what you'll find is they are all effectively the same. You've got a pan follow mode, you've got a lock mode, you've got a follow mode, a point of view mode, and a vortex mode. They all have the ability to go into a vertical video mode. They all have app control integration where you can control the gimbal via the app. They also have the ability to control your camera via Bluetooth, so they all have that functionality, and they all have the ability to plug a USB-C cable into the gimbal and then into the camera and control the camera or certain functions in the camera via USB-C. And when you think of those list of functions, a few years ago, those were the only functions gimbals have. So when we look at the extra functions that these other gimbals have that you're going to pay a premium for, these are functions that didn't exist in the past, and people still successfully use these gimbals and got very smooth footage. Now, just comparing the Weebill 3E to the Weebill 3S, I'm going to talk about the features that you are going to get if you do go with a Weebill 3S over the Weebill 3E. To start with, you're going to get a light on that gimbal. You're also going to get an extra USB-C port, which is going to allow you to use their follow focus system and control manual focus lenses. And if you do get the combo kit, that is going to have the sling and is going to have the wrist rest, which is going to give you their sling system. Importantly, though, with the Weebill 3E, that is something that you can add on later if you buy the base model like this. So if you decide that you do want that, you can get that sling system to work with this gimbal. Now, just looking at the difference between the Weebill 3E and the RS4, you can imagine since the RS4 is more than twice the price, you're going to have a whole list of extra features, and you definitely are. You're going to get an OLED touch display. You're going to get the auto locking and folding system, which basically you push a button and the whole thing folds down and locks itself. You're going to get the ability to integrate the gimbal with DJI's Focus Pro system. It also has the ability to remove the battery because the grip is actually removable. So you have a changeable battery where the Weebill 3E, you've got a built-in battery. And overall, with the RS4, it does feel like a slightly beefier, slightly more premium gimbal. But in the hand, I can tell you, it does not feel like twice the gimbal or twice as good as this gimbal is. When we look at all these different features, they are all real features and they will possibly improve your user experience, but none of them actually make your footage any smoother. So if you are on a budget, they are absolutely not necessary. Now I want to talk about the Weebill 3E because just because the price is low wouldn't make it a great gimbal. The important thing is this is a great gimbal with a low price. And I want to talk about probably what I think is the killer feature on this gimbal, and probably for new users or beginners, probably the single most important feature, and I rarely see people talk about it. And that is if we go into the menu system and we've got the little menu button here, we click menu, we go into the motor mode, and it gives us the ability to auto calibrate the gimbal. And you just click in, and now this is going to go through a sequence of tests. It's going to test the weight, it's going to test the strength of the motors that it needs. And what it's doing is working out what camera and lens combination are on here, or the way that that is weighted, so it can calibrate the gimbal to give you the most smooth footage. Now, importantly, this is a common function on pretty much all gimbals now, but not all gimbals are created equal in the way that they actually make the gimbal work perfectly just by using the auto calibrate. And I think this is super critical for new users, because if the auto calibrate doesn't actually lock it in and get your gimbal working perfectly, then you're going to find yourself wondering what's wrong, diving into the menus and tweaking settings. And the beautiful thing about the Weebill 3E is it is absolutely perfect. I mean, it is smooth. Like, all you got to do, use the auto calibrate, and I haven't done anything but leave it in the default settings. And what you're going to see with the sample footage later in the video and all the tests, all of this has been done simply using the auto calibrate feature and then going out and running around with the gimbal. So you are going to be able to get the exact same results with no extra skill or understanding about how to use a gimbal. Having a look at the performance of the gimbal in the different modes, and we're going to start with pan follow mode. This is probably the most popular used gimbal mode, and it's used in Hollywood movies for tracking shots. It's also what you would use if you're using the camera or the gimbal for vlogging. And you can see it is extremely smooth. Certainly walking shots, we're not getting any wobble or bobble whatsoever. Now here is a shot of jogging, and I'm not using the in-body image stabilization in the camera at all. But in this next shot, I turn on the IBIS, and if you have a camera with IBIS, you can literally sprint and you get this completely crazy smooth flying motion. The next mode is follow mode, and this unlocks your tilt axis. So it's the same as pan follow, but with the tilt unlocked. And this is perfect for these orbit shots. This is one of the coolest moves that you can do with a gimbal, and really gimbals have unlocked this type of shot, and I think just this shot just looks absolutely incredible. It also allows you to use it in tracking, but create a little bit more of a dynamic shot. And you can see here, I missed the framing a little bit at times, but you can see how you can add some extra interest by making use of that tilt even when you are doing a tracking shot. And the next one is the lock mode. This is going to lock off all the axes, and this is commonly used for crane shots. And gimbals just put on the end of selfie sticks can create this incredible high production value crane shot like I've achieved here. And then the next one is POV mode. This is going to give you this flying first-person drone sort of look. I've done a bit of a tracking shot here, but just to add a little bit more interest, it makes it look a little bit more like a handheld shot. And then finally, we've got this vortex mode, and this is the spinning mode. You often see this in sci-fi movies or space movies, or any time that we're going to want to demonstrate that somebody is disoriented, or we've kind of lost our grounding in the movie and we don't know what's going on. This is a popular one for this vortex mode. Just having a look at the build and the ergonomics on the gimbal, overall, the whole thing is a combination of metal and composite materials. The handle is primarily composite with these comfortable rubber grips, and then throughout the rest, it is primarily metal. And if we go through the different buttons and dials we've got here, we have a little record button. So if you've synced your camera in with the gimbal, you can start and stop recording via there. You have a joystick which controls a number of functions, including which way the gimbal is pointing. And then you have the mode dial. And this is how we change to different modes. And we have a single press, which takes us through 3 different modes, the most common modes. So we got pan follow. And if we press one more time, now we've got lock mode. And we press one more time, we have follow mode. These are the 3 most common modes that you're going to use in the gimbal. And to access the less commonly accessed modes, it is a double tap, and one double tap is going to take you into POV mode, and another double tap is going to take you into vortex. Coming along to the other side, we have a button that is going to turn the gimbal on and off. It is a power button. It is slightly recessed so you don't accidentally press it. We're going to have a menu button, which is going to allow us to access the menu system. And then we are going to get a dial, which is also your enter key. So when we're using the menu system, we will go through different parts of the menu by turning that dial, and then we press it in to hit enter or select whatever function we're after. Then at the front, we have the little dial here. This is by default your roll, which sets your roll position. And then we have the trigger, which by double tapping that, it will bring the gimbal back to its default position. And then we have the USB-C port for charging the battery. Ultimately, I think the Weebill 3E is a back to basics gimbal that can hold cameras up to 6.6 pounds and performs as well as gimbals that cost more than twice the price. And I think for most people, this is a perfect first gimbal or a great upgrade from older gimbals that don't provide smooth footage like the latest models do. Now, I'll put some links in the description down below to the best prices I could find on the gimbal. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments.